Hello, listeners. Hi, my name is Madhavi, and I'm so happy to have you on UppTalk. You have come to the right place if you want to learn about IT and do really cool things with your hands. We are not just another IT company when I say UppTalk. Think of us as your learning partner dedicated to helping you reach your full potential. We have top notch hands on courses to help you build your business, whether you are new to technology or want to move up in your current job. Let's look around this as our first step towards learning.
Compensation. Today, what we'll do is we'll try to perform an activity. Whatever I was referring yesterday, the compensation of whatever the referring yesterday is a mixture of plans, groups, and other compensation components. What we'll ultimately have? Whenever we are hiring an employee, we need to have a certain package. That compensation team will be assigning that package to an employee. But certain packages will not just, you can directly take them and attach to an employee. There are certain type of conditions. Some packages will be a mixture of stock bonus, which are applicable only for certain group of people. Like, only US employees will be having certain alliances. Stock alliances, probably based on job grade, based on position, will be assigning stocks. Most of the organization will follow. But if it is applicable for all, the employees will not read any conditions. But if it is restricted to a few groups of employees, we'll be adding certain conditions. Eligibility rules. I can say we can add certain eligibility rules and make that applicable for specific people. Now I'll be performing configurations. I'll be creating eligibility rules and creating plans and creating grades, grade profiles. And finally, I'll be making a package. That package compensation team will be taking that package whenever they get a notification, business process notification that propose compensation higher steps to go to them. They need to attach this to the employee whom they are hiring into the system. There are certain steps that we will be following. Comp steps. First, we need to have compensation. Great. Profiles. Compensation plans. Great. And to make package. Assi- Eligibility rules is eligibility rules. May come in any step that we wanted to have. When we are defining grades, we can actually add eligibility. Rules are after the grade. All these activities as a final step. Also, you can do eligibility rules. Assign eligibility rules. Other comp components are nothing but plans, grades, and all. These are the 5 to 4 steps that will be performing in compensation. This might be coming in the beginning or beginning also. First, we can define eligibility rules and then we can attach that eligible details once we create compensation grade plans package. Or once you create them as an eligible anything, as what you are, convenience, you can actually go with it. These are all the steps that we're going to perform. And when I say eligibility rules might be a kind of similar to condition rules. What we have defined, it will be as it is. How we have defined some certain conditions in business process. It will be the same. Let me go to Workday. One of the typical use case I can say here is as a kind of compensation administrator. You will create compensation rules. Compensation rules are nothing but eligibility rules, and we'll try to edit those rules and make additional changes. We'll try to see how that works. Compensation eligibility. Workday as Amit's organization. This rule will be applicable for only that supervision organization. What are we adding? At when organization an organization is a mixed organization. I will take the supervisor origin that I've created. That this eligibility rule. Wherever we are adding to any compensation step, we should look for only employees of this organization. I'll save this that when I have the reason packages, I can take this. Now we'll create. One more is based on location or based on management level, certain kind of condition. Let's say if this compensation is eligible only for manager and above positions. What I'm trying to do, I'm trying to create eligibility rules first. I wanted to have a whole manager right. Tick director. Vice president. Senior director. Then actually go from the list also. See the company and you can see you're seeing multiple because people would have created multiple times, but you can actually take the one with the each title that above manager will be having all the group when we are trying to add a condition. We have director, vice president, chief executive officer, and vice president. What this will be doing when they're actually attaching this to any compensation plan, stock plan or anything. That stock plan will be applicable only for this group of people. Or I can do one more thing. I can add one more kind of condition here. Let's say management. We have 4 people that are selected, right? What we can do, we can add one line of again rule. These people should be belonging to. What this is doing now, when we add this to any of the compensation component, what this will be doing, this will be looking for these people who are from us. Since you added under operator here, it will be looking for people of this position from us. If you actually instead of, and if you add our operator, if you add our, it will be looking for people of this group and also people from us, all the people of us, it will be looking, and it's specific to these positions, 2 rules, it will be executed. But since you've added under operator here, people from these the management level, from us, it will be taking us one single condition. But if we add our operator, it will be taking 2 conditions. These people are also from us. That when you're actually making conditions, just make sure that operator plays an important role. The second, that we have created for managers and above from United States. Now the next step is, since we created eligible, what would be the next step? What would be the next step here? I said eligibility rule can come on the top or at any point. Compensation grade. We need to create grades and grade profiles. When you're actually creating a compensation grade, you must be clear whether he wanted to have grade profiles also. What is different between grade and grade profiles? What is different between grades and grade profiles? When you have so I was just trying to Oh, I would have been. The only difference is just based on the country or from right. When you have grade at the same time, when you have the same position is opening in multiple locations, you'll be selecting this option. If you don't have that position available in multiple locations, you just go with grade. For now, I'll set up this one. What is this pay range segments? How do you want it to divide your compensation into multiple segments? Let's say 50 lakhs is a compensation. In this 50 lakhs, how many segments that you want it to arrange? 50 lakhs directly, not go offering 50 lakhs, right? If compensation of an employee is somewhere around 30 lakhs or 35 lakhs, you start with 40 and maximum enough. Till 50 you can go. You directly not go from 50 lakhs, right? There will be some segment points. When you're actually configuring in Workday, each of the compensation grade profile will have a segment point. If you're If the low point is 25 lakhs, midpoint should be somewhere around 35 lakhs and highest point should be 45 lakhs. And the top level should be 50 lakhs. Certain kind of segments you'll be configuring and how many segments that you wanted to arrange for your compensation. This is for recruiter comfort. When you configure pay range segments, each segment recruiter will be discussing with the candidate. We have closed the candidate compensation at segment 4, which is highest compensation. We are closed. We have closed the compensation at midpoint. We have to go somewhere around that if I lacks kind of thing, the recruiter can take. I'll give effective rate of foreign. And when I go, I'll be seeing, oh, these are the segments that I can say. These are the segments I can say. Let's say if the position is currently having for you. Learn that position. Frequency monthly. If I go for monthly, now let's say if the minimum compensation making for this position should be somewhere around 30,000. Minimum should be 30,000. And if you Tathlon drill, you have minimum and maximum. When you actually click on the calculate segments, system will calculate automatically for each segment what would be the amount. For each of the segment, you can see segment 1, you have $40,000. I can see, for you can see the currency rate also. The moment you select the currency, here you'll be seeing the currency rate as well. Go for it. $150,000. When it actually clicking on calculate segment, your system will calculate based on the lowest and based on the highest amount. System will calculate and will be dividing the amount for each segment. Now recruiter can take. We have closed at midpoint. We have finalized the position at segment 3. We have finalized the segment at top segment 70,000. Such kind of decisions recruiter can take. This is for managing compensation. Now similarly we have for grade profiles also. What is the element here that we can say? Generally, since we are actually making compensation grade, which is nothing but a salary, will be taking us base pay on base pay. We are actually maintaining the grades and grade profiles. A base compensation is the one that we take. Now coming to grade profiles. What is a grade profile? When you have multiple countries, will be going for grade profiles. You can add multiple lists, but when you click on press button, multiple things will be populated. Let's say first, I wanted to go for grade profile. India and base pay element would be generally base pay. And this should be applicable for only India. I can take eligibility rule with countries looking for India. This should be applicable, country India. Currency it. Frequency is monthly. Each of the components will have option to add the segment. File access. I was referring. Recruiter can take any of the segment that is there here. He cannot take anything, that is outside of this segment. And I'll take 6,80,000 or 7 lakhs cannot take whatever segment has been calculated here. A recruiter should be taking this amount on. There is a purpose of grade. We cannot if we are actually going beyond this one. Where is the record that you're keeping? I guess someone was asking in last session. Though the grade is defined as some amount, but there would be a kind of special request based on that. Something extra extensively can be offered in employee based on the request. That cannot be done here because if you're actually making the decision outside of the compensation grade, where is the record that you're keeping in the system? You need to have some record, right? If you're actually having the compensation range of an employee for the specific position between 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs, the offer should be made between this range only. If you're going for 12 lakhs offered, where you are defining that in Workday, either you have to edit the range and offer it to an employee or create one more position where that position, the job profile, is expecting little more than what we have. Then for that position, create a new compensation grade and attach to that. In that way, you can do. But if you're having the one compensation range and if you're going outside of that and making an offer, that will not record in the system, right? There should be a record when you're actually making offer to the candidate. There must be some association with the grade profiles that you have in the system. On that way, you can take this as whatever you're giving in grades and grade profile should be reflecting an employee compensation after hiring or before hiring. Now I've defined for India. I'll define for 2 or 3 countries. Then we'll close this country, Philippines. Base. Country should be currency. Frequency. Currency. Six. That is for Philippines. I'll configure for years and close this. This one. United States. and they should be mostly news. We have frequency, semi-monthly, you can actually, and semi-monthly the kind of frequency. Don't 2000. And that's how you typically manage grade profiles. What is the check? Any question? We created grades, grade profiles. We've created eligibility rules. What next we have? What is that? Defining compensation plans. We need to have a compensation plan. And this is we have for creating the compensation plan. We have its plan names. We have salary plan, bonus, we'll be creating a few plans and make these plans and the grades together and make it a package. We have salary plan first. This is something you know that you need to know whenever you are creating a plan. Whenever you're getting a salary plan or a mid plan or bonus plan. Generally, your compensation would be based on the higher date, right? Let's say if you're joining, if your salary is somewhere around 10 to 15 lakhs and monthly it should be somewhere around 1.5 lakh. If there is a salary, the salary Whatever you're getting monthly should be based on the hire date, right? If you're joining at 10th of the month, will be getting complete fixed salary, or will it be? For that particular base, whatever you're there, it will sell the calculation date. Will it be prorated or will it be fixed? Based on hiring, your salary, whatever that is getting paid, will be prorated rate. This is the configuration checkbox that does that. If you check this checkbox, it actually looks for the hire date and pays you on prorated basis. And if you're seeing this one, and if you're joining after cutoff period for the merit plan that you have somewhere around in December or November, there's a merit plan, merit process that will be going during that time. And if you join in the month of September, as for the policy, the plan should not be applicable for merit. Your merit should not consider the salary plan. When you have such cases, you'll be selecting the checkbox which will exclude you from the merit process. What you'll be doing? You'll be making the salary plan and will attach to the people who have joined after and date where they will be not part of merit process. If that is not the case, if you are creating this as a kind of standard one for every year, that should all the employees should be under this plan. It will be unchecking this one and attach employees to be part of the salary plan. These two are the very important options that you need to be aware whenever you are creating salary plans. Here, any questions? Salad, I'll just give HR. And the salary plan will be applicable for the organization that I've created. I can add this eligibility rule here. And this element should be base pay. When you're not in need of salary plan, you can actually inactivate that. When I'm going with a new plan with new criteria with different eligibility rules, you can change the eligibility rule, or if you are looking for a different, prorated percentage or different process that should include or that should not include in the merit process, you'll inactivate the existing one to just, be out of any kind of conviction in overriding the salary plans. You will be inactivating this one and go for a new one. Alliance, alliance plan is something important one. Mostly, most of the organizations will have an alliance plan based on reimbursement kind of things. If you provide bills that can be reimbursable kind of plans will be there, or amount based plans which generally comes with the salary, that kind of things will be there. You can configure as per your requirement. I'll just go with amount based plan, standard amount that we can give for alliance. Even this also applicable for proration based on higher rate and should be excluded from the merit process. I'll give a lens. At this eligibility rule. I wanted to have this plan to be applicable only for certain group of people. Now certain group of people can be from this. Only manager and above and people from us should be applicable for this plan. Since it has to be prorated, I'll check. This combination element should be bonus. Alliance, sorry. You can give something. F. I have a lens plan created, condition with the eligibility that they've created. What is the next that we need to do? We have one. Similarly, you can actually create other plans. Other plans like bonus plan or stop plan, merit plan will have similar options. When it made, here you can see multiple plan alliance plan profiles. What we have given here is able to rule for manager and above. We have given this little further if you have any kind of requirements. If you have further, let's say. What we have been manager and above from us, this alliance plan should be applicable. After that, if you have further any kind of specific requirements for 10th, USD should be applicable only for employees from excess. Alonson should be applicable from the last. Certain kind of conditions you can actually add according to your requirements. Now, once we have a little span, what would be the next step? What is the next step now? We've created great plans. We've created eligibility rules. What would be the next step? To create a package. Once we create a package, we'll be doing grouping all the things that we have created. A combination of great, plenty, great, great plan. Now this will become entire package of what we have created. What the compensation team will be doing, they'll be assigned this package for employees when they're hiring. If we get the members having added some eligible data on site when they're adding, they can add this compensation package to an employee during hiring stage. And also whatever grades that they've created, these grades, whatever we have created, the recruiter can also do. Whenever they're creating any job profile, they can define this grade in the job profile. They can create a job profile and assign this grade C. And that whatever job profile that they're creating for, let's say, for example, what they develop a position is that when they develop a position should have this compensation grade. They'll be attaching this company, just wait. And if position is open in multiple locations, they'll be adding the rate profile. And this job profile can be considered for recruiting an employee, and the recruiter will be taking care of further. Job profile is nothing but it talks about characteristics of the job, what roles and responsibilities the job will be performing. What is the title? Management level. Did I cover something called job, family groups, and job profile? I think I didn't cover this probably. We'll cover it in tomorrow's session. Job profile. Whenever a recruiter is creating a job profile, there must be a compensation grade that has to be considered for an employee when hiring. Or when we are making compensation offer. Whatever range that we are defining for the job profile, you will be defining in compensation grade, and that will be taken forward with the candidates during hiring process. Once the interview process is completed, offer decision is made during the process. This package or grade that we are assigning will be coming to an employee and package whatever we have created now. Compensation team. Whenever hiring an employee, there is a proposed compensation step in the business process. When that step triggers, it will be going into compensation team. That team will be adding the package that we've created, whatever package that we have created. They will be taking this package and assigning to employee during hiring process. That is the importance of package. Though we have created, we have gone into multiple screens and we have created the rules and the profiles, plans and all. But in a natural scenario, this will be already created. What you will be asked to actually handle in compensation is probably going to range. Parents should be added to specific job profiles. Few job profiles are created. Parents should be added when, as a parent, is not about a job. When the recruiter is creating few more job profiles, some grades and grade profiles should be configured. and eligibility rules to be changed for existing compensation package. If someone asks you that the current package is only for US employees and for this man at this level, now we also need to include manager also. If there is a request, what do you need to do? You need to go to that compensation package and edit that and see wherever you added for compensation plan which is restricted to above managers. You'll be including managers in that and make it applicable for managers also. Such kind of enhancements you'll be getting or some when you are actually implementing brand new compensation module. You'll be undergoing with all these configurations. What we have done far. Any questions far? Any questions or anything? I'm clear. Anything, any clarifications? Now we'll be able to create a compensation package. We'll be in a position to create a compensation package with multiple different eligibility rules. Yes? Not be able to create. There is an activity to create a compensation package. Will you be able to create a compensation package or not? Package is nothing. But before you create a package, you need to have all the compensation components, plans, grades, profiles. You need to have, but conceptually we're able to understand or not. When we are creating compensation grades profiles, what are the options that are available? Why those options are available in the system? Did you understood? Understood. A compensation is one of the module that we have in. We have companies core compensation and advanced compensation. Core compensation will have all the core configurations. And whatever you have configured in core compensation and advanced compensation, those will get calculated. Let's say performance rating is 1 to 5 and for 1. What would be the compensation package? What would be the compensation plan or percentage that should be there? All these things you'll be doing in advanced compensation and core compensation. You'll be creating everything and you'll be configuring eligibility rules and it'll make it to be available for employees during hiring process for merit process. You'll be making this to be applicable. All these things. You know you'll be making key decisions in core compensation. If you're aware of core compensation, you should relate how employee is getting hired into the system, how compensation will be associated to an employee when hiring into the system or when during the increment process, where this amount is coming from. All these things you should be seeing. When a bonus amount is getting paid, the plan has to be created in a system and amount has to be configured to that one. And once these two are done, that will be assigned to an employee. You must be getting similar understanding when you are trying to understand more on core compensation. Please do like, share, and subscribe to our channel. For more information, contact us sales@therightuptalk.com.